Yo, we back live. It's another episode with another special guest, man. So, so Justice, before we start, we're gonna give you the preview, the Rogies. Go and tell her stats.
Every time you hit a Rogie, you gotta pick that cup up.
Oh, okay.
Every time.
Can you give me like a test? Give me like a test run.
Oh, trust us.
Look, we're gonna Rogie to you.
Rogie for our new guys. Let's get it.
I know that's right.
Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us about you, man.
Oh man, I'm Justice. I am 23. I am a DMV. I'm trying to think. This is actually one of my first times like really talking about myself like this. Like this is very new for me. I do social media production. I work for BET. I guess that's me in a nutshell. I'm a foodie. I like to travel. I'm just starting to like go out. So I'm finally like making some good friends. And yeah, I think that's me in a nutshell right now.
That's you in a nutshell.
First, I gotta say, 23 working for BET.
Hey, hold on. We got a Rogie to that too. Early Rogies. Come on,
you know what? Y'all try and get folks drunk for real.
Hey, listen, we celebrate the people's success. That's it.
I'm with that. I'm definitely with that.
23 with BET. Is that not like, because a lot of people 23 years old, they kind of still figuring out, and then just you could still be figuring it out as well with BET as well. But talk about that. Is that kind of like something you look at like, damn, it's like this is like it, or is this just like this is just first step for you?
It's definitely a first step. I think that, well, this is what I absolutely say. Getting in this door was like nothing but like God's timing and like a little bit of luck. Like last year was like really, really, really rough for me. Like I was in a traumatic relationship. Like the year before the pandemic, everything was just bad. So I wasn't working. I didn't have money, but there was always like this, like, you always have that like little feeling in your gut that's like something's gonna happen. Like I don't know when it's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen, and it's just gonna be like it's gonna be good. Right. So just like with all of that, it was just like running with that feeling in my gut, and kind of like also just knowing the right people at the right time. Like I had a friend, we had been friends for a while, but he worked at BET, and there just so happened to be like one opening, and he was like, hey, I know you seem great at this, just try it out, see if you like it.
Lessons.
But like also, if like when I say like really good timing, like if I had hopped out of like the traumatic situation I was in at like just the right time, like he probably hit me up about it like a week later. Like I would have just missed the opportunity. So yeah, but it's a starting point. Like I think that now that I'm here and now that I'm enjoying it and now that I know I can do it, I'm like, all right, what's next? Like I'm an Aries woman, so I'm always on the go.
Oh, what she say? Aries? Hey, oh. All right, hold up. When your birthday?
April 13th.
Oh shit! Listen, she scared me. I thought you about to say April 3rd. Hey, I was about to say April 3rd. I want to say, hey, April 3rd, 10 days apart. 10, my favorite number. You're a good person.
I know that's right. 10's a great number too. I'm one of those like spiritual girls that's like really into numerology and astrology, all of that. So
what they say about 10?
It's like a number for like completion, but also if you add 1 and 0, it equals 1. So like new beginnings, alignment, like just everything working out exactly how you want it to. So just keep positive. That's all.
So kind of walk us through the journey. Like, all right, we see how you kind of got there, but like, where'd how did you know you wanted to do this in college? Like,
absolutely not. I'll briefly start at high school. So like I was going back and forth between entertainment law and like music.
You about to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
Hey.
The girls had me convinced because my name is Justice, but like I didn't like reading. I didn't like just anything that law school, like, and my uncle's a lawyer, and I would always just hear like horror stories about his experience. So I was looking into entertainment law. I like looked at a couple of schools for it. And then I was in this choir. And I got to like tour the world with them. Like it was just that's probably one of the best things I got out of being in Arizona.
You got
is
to
like
sing? Well, I mean, you can sing.
Yeah.
When you got to sing?
No, I'm saying she said she was in the choir kind of. So like, oh, you traveled with the choir.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So like we went to Europe, we went to South America. Like we had like little summer trips where we would go.
I'm thinking like you talking about traveling, like she going to Georgia for the summer, she going to like New Jersey, so she talking about Europe, and so like
yeah.
golly, so like how
it was a lot. It was a lot that we got to do, and then from there I was like, I'm not going to law school. I'm not doing this shit at all. Like I'm just gonna do.
If I got to travel the world singing, enjoying it, like and like it was like paid stay and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, I'm not going to law school
at all.
So it was good, like, you know, being able to experience that in high school like was exactly what I needed, because I knew like, okay, if anything, like I'm not gonna do law, but I'm gonna do something in music. So like also at the time I was aching to get out of Arizona. So I literally just Googled like music schools on the East Coast. And Georgia State was like the first school that popped up. And I just clicked on it. I was like, okay, this looks cute. I was like, actually, it was funny. My sister, the exact moment, my sister was like getting inducted to like the honor society or something like that at our high school. And me and my mom were like sitting and watching her. And I was just like going through my phone. And I just leaned over and I was like, Mom, I'm going to Georgia State. And she was like, as long as you pay for it, go ahead. And so I applied like right then and there, got accepted, packed my things, and went to Atlanta. So
I can respect that. Hey, I can respect that wholeheartedly, because you had that in your head, you found that place, and you just like, you know what? I don't care what nobody say. I'm gone.
I think just thing though, kind of like how things motivate you to. Like at the time, I could certainly say that like I wasn't pressed to do like something in music, but at the time I was pressed to get out of Arizona. So
you was gonna trust me. I know that feeling. Yeah. I wanted to get out of DC. Like fuck, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, dog, I don't want to see my mom right now. I want to go be free. I gotta get the hell out of here, man. Like niggas went all the way down south. That's what I'm saying. I feel you.
So let me ask you this, right? So let's say if you did spend some time, like maybe a little bit more time in Arizona, do you think that you would be in the same situation that you are now? Or
no, if I spend more time in Arizona, I probably would be in law school right now, or I'd maybe be like volunteering somewhere for music, but I didn't really meet my core group until I went to Atlanta. So I wouldn't have met anybody, like, and also being in Atlanta it gave me more room to like explore what I wanted to do in music. Like everybody in Atlanta want to do music. So there's always like,
I live in Atlanta right now.
Yeah. And I feel like
everybody
literally everybody goes like
that stick every time you go down the street.
Yes. Like, and so there's like
good here, I swear.
So what that means is that there's always a spot for you to fit in somebody's journey. So like I met a lot of artists who like I started like in A&R. So I was like just meeting artists and like being like, oh, okay, like you seem cool. I like your sound. Like maybe try this. And then also what helped was like in my program at Georgia State, we had to take like vocal lessons. Right. So like I would take things that I learned from there and like help singers. So I was like dabbling into like vocal coaching. I was dabbling into like vocal production. And like one of my like really good friends, he was like putting out a project at the time. So I got to like help him produce a lot of things vocally. And then I like realized, you know, it's cute, but don't totally like it. I tried to manage him. I tried to manage just other really, really great artists that did not work out. I was like, I don't like people like that. Like,
I'm glad
no
you
way.
know yourself though. I'm glad that, right? Right, look, Guy Rogan did that shit. She like, I don't even like people.
It just wasn't, but like, it's not that I don't like people, but it's that I didn't like keeping track of people in that way. So then I like ventured into like project management. So that was like the one thing that I was like, wow, I love this shit. Like,
really,
it's something about logistics, it's something about operation, and I get it from my daddy because he's an ops guy, but like it just really like just everything was just perfect. And I'm like, I like to be organized as well. So like seeing people not be organized and being like, oh, I know how you can do this better. Like it was really nice for a while. And then I wanted to do events. I like did a couple of concerts. I interned at Center Stage Theater. So like to do like love that, love the festivals. So I actually wanted to build my own festival. I got into like VR technology at some point and like wanted to like do a VR.
You make yourself an asset, like in everything that you like.
I tried to do as much as possible.
And that's and that's tough. That's tough.
Because it just most people look to get a foot in the door like without doing the work, like on the outside. But like you come into situations like having something to offer. It seems like kind of like why everything works.
I think, but I also think that like a little piece of that, I think a little piece of me like, ooh, this is kind of deep. I've always, even as a kid, I have been raised to not be able to fail. So like everything that I've tried, I was like, I'm gonna be the best at it. Even if I realize later on down the line that I don't like it, at least while I'm like super into it, I'm gonna be the best at it, like period.
That's that Aries stuff right there. That's that Aries mentality.
But also what I think helps, because like a lot of people always ask me like, it don't seem like it, but I don't talk a lot. So they're just like, why are you so quiet? My core friend group, when I tell you some of the wisest people I have met in my entire life, like, I mean, everybody excelled in some place, like in entertainment, some of them not even in entertainment, but there's always something you can take and learn from the people around you. So I think it was a lot of absorbing that information as well, and then kind of like taking that. But I think what got me into marketing, truthfully, was that every time in each part of like what I experimented with, the marketing always got me the most excited. So I was just like, oh, like we could really like brand this, and I will get flyers made. Like, let's, figure out the social strategy. But what stopped me was that there was a point in our friend group where we were all doing something in music. So I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. Like there was always somebody really deep.
We had a boy band breakup.
Yeah. Oh man.
The boy band broke up. We couldn't figure it out, man. It was just super chaotic. The manager got involved.
Oh, you talking about back in college?
Yeah, man. The boy band got broken up.
Listen. I was just a witness. I wasn't a part of the boy band. I was a witness. I wasn't the rapper. I was a part of the gang, but I wasn't the rapper. So like I can see how things get really like mixy with like trying to put the business with the music part, because some like you don't want to hurt, you don't want to step on nobody's toes, like you say, and then that's your dog at the end of the day. So it's like you really don't want to hinder shit, but it's just like you want to kind of help that person. Some people might think of it as positive, some people might think of it as negative, but at the end of the day, it's so hard.
You never know how somebody's going to take it. Like you might have the best and truest intentions, like how you like moving, but like when it comes to like art, it's subjective. So people going like take. I don't know if they coming at me. I don't know if this was a shot. Like things can be implied. There's just so much shit. Like for real. Like
and people are really sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh no, people are really I can give you that. I can say like nowadays, people are like extra sensitive with like everything, like when it comes to. But like let's talk I wanted to kind of learn more about like so once you got that opportunity with BET, right? You got that position. Your first day, how you feeling? You walking through like you even like getting a job, going through your onboarding. I know you feeling like, oh, I'm
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, we all watched BET growing up. It would take me back a little bit too.
you
Like,
did, you know?
Well, this is what I'll absolutely tell you. My first day, in this position, I didn't have time to be like, wow, I'm really here. Like when I came in, like 5 new shows were premiering. So it was very much like grab it and go. We'll teach you how to do it later.
That's what my job was, yeah.
There was a lot of like, I had to adapt very quickly. Truthfully, that feeling of like, whoa, I'm really here. Like that just happened like last week. Like it's actually just now clicking like, okay, like I'm really here. I got this job. I got promoted quickly. Like I started in August as creator for the Hip Hop Awards. And then that's what kind of like jumped me to this producer role now. But
hey, hold on, roll you to that, dog. Roll you to that. Cause like no, not only, right? I'm not even gonna let it like belittle it, right? You put your foot in the door with that first opportunity, made your way up, and you are a Black woman in the film industry. That's already
free. Like you was like 22 at the time when that was going down.
I had just turned 23. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Talk about breaking in your 23, right? Come on, man. Come on.
You know, this is weird because I don't actually take the time to sit and be like, "Ooh, this is like kind of a big deal."
And I feel like that's good though because that allows you to stay hungry. It allows you to keep striving, you know, to try to do like more, you know, to like increase the expectations now. But like that's what we here for, you know what I mean?
I was just about to say that's what we here. We wanna make sure we give everybody roses, man. Cause this like you said, right? Like Stock said, like it's a great thing to keep you determined, like hungry and wanting more. Because if you really sit there and think like, I know a lot of people who in like positions where they think they're in positions and they thinking they the shit and they ain't doing nothing. They not really like making an impact. They not really helping their projective on life in the future, whatever the case is. They just getting a little bit of funds and they just think they set. So like and let's talk about maybe some of the people that kind of like some of the people you kind of met along the way as well. Like that kind of like because I know me, I went to the BET Awards show and when I went to LA, so I want to say that's 2017. And I saw like
tell me, man, he went without me. Okay.
This is when I was working in LA for a whole month.
It's okay though.
So I went out that way and that's I see all the celebrities and like I ain't trying to get starstruck because I was just like they regular people like me. So I was just but then that's when I saw they damn chains in person. And I'm like, oh, good. That when they be like wet like water, they ain't lying. They ain't lying. That thing is like so. Like, have you ever got starstruck or like tell us about an experience you ever met with like your first celebrity and stuff?
Ooh, my first celebrity. Who was the first person I met? So I'll be honest with you, I have actually never been to an award show for BET. All of them were virtual. Or like my job was virtual, so I didn't have to be there. But the first celebrity that I met in this role is Big Sean.
Oh yeah.
No, Justice.
Yeah.
We best friends at this point. We are best friends, bro. We are best friends, bro. Cause Big Sean, he ain't my top favorite.
That's his favorite rapper.
He one of my favorites though. He one of my favorites, so I ain't gonna hold you. But go ahead, tell us about the experience.
So it was like a small. I had when I tell you like 5 minutes with him. So he was on 20s and like it was the season finale and the PR team was like, hey, like we have a couple of minutes with him if you want to talk about like his time on the show, like ask him a couple of questions. So literally like it was like 2 days before it was supposed to happen. So I just like whipped up like a few questions and then got on a Zoom call. And I was trying to cheat it. Like, I didn't feel like I was like camera ready. So I like try to keep my camera off. He was like, why can't I see you? So I like turned my camera on. We like chopped it up for about 5 minutes. He was like, you're mad cool. And then I just left. Like, it was really quick. But like just as straightforward and like down to earth as he seems on the internet is exactly how he is when you like talk to him. Like, you know how people are like, you don't want to like meet your heroes? Like, Big Sean's not one of those people. Like, what you see is what you get with him.
He's like, he really does come across that way though. Like,
yeah, genuinely like come off like a cool person at that point.
Yeah. So it was small, wasn't nothing crazy, but you know, it was a
so
little.
Can you kind of explain the position of like what you do? Like, what does a day look like for you?
So I'll start with what I do. So for our different TV shows, I have to come up with like social media strategy. I plan out like weekly content for each show, not each show. I have right now on that are gonna be on air. I have 3 shows, and then I have 1 more that's not coming on like until June. But yeah, I just build strategy. I like connect with like our other departments to see if like they want to do stuff with social. Like, we do a lot with like 360 marketing, so they'll handle like all the billboards and stuff like that. But things with them, with PR, who else? I'll align with like programming. Like, as they introduce shows, I can decide if I want to take, I can't if I want to take them, but my boss will decide if it's something that she thinks is good for me. But pretty much like what my job is, and I manage coordinators. Like, if I need support on shows, like now that I'll be running 3 at a time, like I need support, but that's pretty much it. No day really looks the same. I try to keep it as in order as possible. Like, I can guarantee you though there will be at least 3 or 4 things a day. And then like if I have some free time, I've started to like block off free time on my calendar so nobody like puts meetings on. But I'm just organizing my content calendars. I'm like complaining to my coworkers that we're not organized enough. We joke around all the time too. Like, it's a really good working environment. But yeah, sometimes cutting video clips, sometimes doing Instagram live activations, sometimes, whatever
Right.
I need to get the job done. So
let me ask you, like, with all, because you listed a lot of responsibilities, right? And again, like Stock said, we grew up watching BET, so we understand like the impact that it has, especially on our culture, right? It is the Black entertainment. I forgot what the T stands for, but television. Thank you. It's late. All right, I'm sorry, but so basically, how do you kind of go with those responsibilities, right? Because at the same time, you young, right? You're 24, you still growing, you still becoming an adult, right? We still haven't fully became an adult. We still learning the kinks of it, right? How do you kind of manage adulting as well as this this big responsibility? Because
I have truthfully just really started to get a handle on it. But the one like mantra that I go by daily that keeps me on track is, if it feels good, then it is good. So like in my work, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I know it doesn't feel good, so I'll stop. If like I want to get up and I want to go out, I want to go on a date or something like that, and it like really, really feels good, like I'll get up and go do that. Even down to like now I'm starting to like get in the weird space where it's clicking, like the magnitude of what I've been able to accomplish. So like imposter syndrome starts to kick in a little bit. So having to stop myself and be like, no, this does not feel good for you. It's not good for you at all. So like, how do we like pivot?
Can we take a Rogan to that? Because I think that's a perfect fucking man. Come take a Rogan to that. Because honestly, a lot of people don't understand that. If it don't feel good, just stop. That's not you. And just like you said, imposter syndrome. A lot of people go through that. Like trying to just do something, even though it don't feel good, they just think overall it's gonna take it there. But my bad. I just thought that was a good one. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, I pretty much like run by that like for the last last 2 months or so, and it's really started to work out. But I also think it takes a lot of introspection, like from the last like 2 years. Like when I say it's been a lot that I've gone through, it's been a lot. I try not to like dive into it because it's really fucking sad, but like you come out of it like, okay, there's something I had to learn about in it. So like taking those lessons and now I'm not afraid to learn new things about myself. So I think that's also what kind of like really helps me like balance the day to day, learning more about my body, learning more about my mental, learning more about like my spiritual, even like connecting with my ancestors has been something that I thought was like taboo before. I'll be talking to them every day, like, or I will at least think about them every day. Because even like it comes down to even like my grandparents, like they're still alive, right? But the thought of them like soon becoming one of my ancestors, and like it's kind of like my grandpa, I talk to him about any and everything under the sun, and he listens to me and my sister. He listens to us like we are like the most interesting people he's ever known in his entire life. And I also kind of like I want to be that also for other people. So, just being the light that you see in other people is like, really cool.
No, I go my bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you think your support system like played a big role in like where you are today? Because it seemed like you had a good like foundation set up around you.
Yeah. When I say it's just the right people at the right time, like I like thinking about it, I could not have asked for a better core group and a better like time to find them. Like even down to my parents, like they're both like really, really hard workers. My dad was really good at business. He was always going to teach how to make a bag, like no matter what. My mom, she loves to work, but I think a lot of her work was more like purpose driven. Like she didn't really care too much about the money, but like as long as she was helping someone, as long as she was making somebody feel better, like she was satisfied. So those two like different things as a kid was like it inspired a lot like now. And then also like my sister's story is really interesting, like watching her grow into like she is now. So I think all of that in itself is inspiring. But also like being in college, being in Atlanta, like meeting people, like one of my best friends, like literally met her. We were beefing when we first met, and we realized it was like a misunderstanding. And I mean, just immediately, like we're 5 years strong. 5 years? Yes, 5 years strong. We're working together at BT. So it's like,
that's tough.
Just being really like,
real deal.
Yeah. But she was one person that like, as I was finding myself and like as I was going through things, she was not judgmental at all. She was like, do what you have to do, figure out what you have to figure out. If you need me, I'm here. I'm not gonna like shut you out or anything. Like I knew she was a real one when after I got out of my relationship last year, she had told me, like, she posted on her Instagram, like she to me on her story, like, free my sis. Like
now see, I can't deal with the friends like free my sis. Oh, my business, baby. Me and sis.
But what nobody knew but me at the time was that it was abusive. So I really had to get out of there. But like but she's also intuitive like I am. So we could be siblings at this point. Like, she knows my energy, I know her energy well. If something doesn't feel right in me and I can't like dissect it, 9 times out of 10 is wrong with her and I need to check up on her. So like, we're just that close. But I don't know, the support system, like, it will really make or break your entire life experience, because you can't, none of us are like do this life alone, right? But like, who you give your energy to and who you take energy from is equally as important. And once you like realize like, oh, like I've given this person my energy and I feel like genuinely drained and like they didn't pour back into me, like this is somebody who I shouldn't be around. Like, even like I've gone out like with people and immediately been like, okay, like in the car before I even get there, like, okay, like I don't think this is something that I want to do. And sometimes I'll go because I know there will be like other people there. But when it's done, just talking to like a friend and being like, listen, I know you love that person. I have to take them in doses or I can't do it at all. Like, it's shit.
It's certain people that you just get that feeling with. They're like, you know what? Like you cool folk. Yeah, like you cool folk. I just can't kick it right now with you, you know. And like you said something that kind of like it kind of resembled to me too, right? Like how you kind of met your best friend, and like I had my like one of my closest friends. Like I don't even have to talk to him every day, but like when we talk, it's just like down there. We pick it up, right? So like in middle school, me and him was really about to go at it too, because he was trying to fight my homie, and we in middle school, right? My old middle school just got shut down. PR Harris, we had to go to Hop. This is some DC ghetto stuff. I don't know why middle schools is beefing, but we beefing. I don't know what. This is the first day, first week of classes. They about to get into it. I step out the class like, all right, my man fighting, and y'all jump in. I'ma jump in. So that moment, he was kind of like my enemy. And then years later, 8th grade come by, we get real close. This is my dog. Now, I'm just like the one thing that kind of really he helped me understand, it was cool to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to school in Southeast DC. They don't love they don't love the smart dudes, all right? They love the bad boys. So at that point, I'm just like not on purposely being dumb, but I'm just not putting in all my effort. Right, and then you know, he was one of the popular people at that time, right? So then he told me like he saw one of the test scores. I did great. And you know, he just like, damn, and he did all right. He like, damn, nigga, you a nerd. But that never switched up, right? And this is the story. Like he never switched up out of that, right? Just saying that always been my dog. And it kind of showed me like, damn, like I could just be myself and people still gonna fuck with me regardless, right? So just like how you said, your best friend kind of just helped you through that and helped you understand what you're capable of, and y'all going to BET together. That kind of just reminded me about, damn, like how a friend can kind of really help you stay on the right path and really like make sure that you straight. Just meeting the right person.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't roll you the friendship. I love it.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
For real.
Shout out to my boy T. Lou.
Period. And I'll tell you too, another thing when it comes to like best friends, like you know, you have a real one. I'm gonna explain what happened. So like maybe like 2018, I was in this relationship and this dude was like just mad toxic. I was in a weird space where I knew things were wrong with me, but I didn't want to like dissect them. And he had like broken up with me. I cried about it, and he was like, "Oh my God, I never want to see you cry. Like, let's get back together." So I was like,
"It's just burnt." I'm saying it's just burnt. Like, it's burnt.
So I was like, okay, like, but I was a little like questionable about it. But at the time, I felt like I like was in love with him, so I was like, whatever. So then we get back together. Literally, we go out to eat lunch one day, and my best friend, she's like texting me while we're out, and she's like, can I like, or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear or what you think or what I think you need? need to hear right now.
Respect to a
And I
father.
was like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. So just tell me what I need to hear. Like, I may as well just get it out the way. And she was like, okay, I think that you're out with him right now because you're just afraid of being alone. And as soon as I read the text message, I snapped out of it. I looked up at him and I was like, you take me home now. Like, let's go.
Not in the middle of the damn lunch, though. At least finish At least finish the meal. Like, damn, I just took you out here.
We could absolutely go. Like,
so let's talk about like that relationship, right? That critical one, if you're comfortable to talk about it, right? That
one wasn't the worst one, so we can go into it.
Oh, it wasn't or was?
It wasn't the worst one. So
okay. All right. So let's talk about that one, and I'll ask my next question later. Let's talk about that relationship.
I don't know how to explain where I was when it was going on. I think that, like I said, I didn't want to be alone. I don't even remember, when did I even meet this guy?
Wait, is this the 2018 relationship or is this the one right before? No, the one right before BET.
Oh, you want to talk about the one right before BET?
Yeah, the critical one. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the worst one?
This was the worst one, but I'll be as detailed but non-detailed as possible.
Yeah.
So I met this guy actually on Bumble. I met him. Whoa, you start to start telling a story, and you be like, whoa, like you were in a really weird space. So in 2020, in March, April of 2020, my whole family got COVID. So like,
oh shit.
And it hit us really hard. So I wasn't out of the house, but I think we were all at that point where we were like really hitting like cabin fever. Like we were ready to just get up and get out. And we also thought by June we were gonna be in like a better place.
Right, yeah, like we all did.
So after April, it was very much like, not only do I have cabin fever, but I'm traumatized because like my dad was in the hospital, my mom just was going through it like crazy. So I was just sort of looking for someone to take my mind off of what had happened to me. So I was like scrolling through Bumble. I like met this guy. He seemed cool. Now there were some like maybe superficial red flags, and there were some that I absolutely like should have paid attention to. So like when he told me he was a Gemini, I was like, ooh, maybe I should leave.
Hold on. All right, you can't base it off no science though.
And that's why, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to like give this man a chance for real. We had like one conversation where like he gaslit me like crazy, and I didn't realize it until I thought about it later, and then like came back to him like, bro, it's not okay. And then I think he like kind of gaslit me again, but like I think at the time I was so like interested in him, I never walked away.
Define. I might be a little old. Is gaslighting like he kind of sold you dreams type stuff?
No, gaslighting is like when, for example, like I'll say like, oh, I have a problem with like the way you this, like, or it made me feel like some type of way, and then you like turn around and like make it my fault or make it seem like I'm crazy for like how I'm feeling. So
okay, reverse psychology. Yeah. Okay, turn this shit back on you. Okay.
Sort of like that.
Manipulation, right?
Yes, it's a manipulation tactic. The second red flag that I'm not even gonna call it a red flag. I will say that if you don't handle it the right way, like if you can tell the person doesn't handle it the right way, just dip. He was ex-military. So I didn't get a lot of his PTSD symptoms until right before we broke up. But they did show themselves a little bit when we had first like started to date.
Right.
Like what's an example?
Mostly feel like people were like after us. even sometimes being paranoid that I would leave him. And at the time, you know, because we all have like our insecurities, right? So I thought it was kind of like that, because even I fear abandonment sometimes. But so just being as like reassuring as possible. He was also like one of those guys that didn't want me to work. He wanted me to like relax and he take care of everything. He wanted like all of our money in like one account. And
I can't do that.
At the time, like it seemed sort of appealing, but like I also knew that I had so much more going for myself, especially because I forgot about this. So in March, actually right before my family got COVID, I got accepted into Berklee College of Music. They're like master's degree program in Spain. So I'm supposed to be in Spain right now, actually. But after I met him, he had like, well, I got accepted to the program. I decided not to go because of COVID. And then they let me push it a year. So I was gonna like go this year, or go in like 2021. Right. By the time like February or March of 2021 hit, when I was thinking about Spain, he was like, oh no, I'm gonna go with you. But then like he couldn't stop talking about his ex. So like he started to use her as a manipulation tactic. He like had us meet one day and
whoa.
And then like once we hit it off, he was like, I don't want y'all to talk ever again type shit. And so like it was all weird.
Cool? Hold on, yeah.
No, like we weren't
not cool, but like when y'all talk, well, I guess when
like it wasn't no like weird energy. Like right. She was cool. And then like he would start to like, use her against me. So like it like he would pressure me into doing shit by saying like, if you don't do it, I'll just call her and she will. And so
hey, first of all, like, that's crazy as shit as a nigga to say. Like any man say like you'll call me. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But this is what it like comes down to, right? Like that entire experience taught me that I didn't know who I was and what I was worth. And like, I mean, truthfully, the entire relationship kind of felt like a blur. And like, when I got out of it, like even me leaving the relationship felt like a blur. Like I was like finessing my way out of his place and like talking to my parents, and like my dad being like, no, you left, was like my like, oh shoot, damn, I finessed my way out of here. And then it was a lot of chaos after that, but everybody's good now, everybody's safe. I haven't talked to him since, but like I don't go a day without thinking about what happened. But I think the other lesson that it taught me was like things will keep coming up until you learn from them. Right. So like I had been in tons of relationships where I stayed because I didn't know who I was. And it took that like really traumatic one to be like, whoa, I really don't know who I am. I really don't know what I'm worth. Maybe I should sit my ass down and figure it out. Like, and then as I was figuring it out, then I got like the first call about the BET job. And even like I was actually up for 2 jobs. So there was one at BET Plus, which is like the streaming network for BET. And actually me and my best friend we both submitted our resumes for that job, and they took her to interview instead of me. So I was even battling a little bit of like self-esteem issues when that was happening, because I was like, damn, like that's my homegirl, like what does she have that I don't? Mm-hmm. And then like I got the other call about the coordinator job at BET, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. Right. And then almost like overworked in that job to prove myself. And once I got promoted, because the BET Plus job ended up not working out, they just paused like hiring or something like that. I just told my best friend, like, hey, we got an opening over here, so
slide on
just come
through.
over here.
Shout out to you for that too.
For real,
nah, for real. Cause like you shit, a lot of motherfuckers could have been like, nah, nigga, like you got that opportunity over there. I'm gonna forget about you. You said, nah, bro. You got that spot right there, but and that shit didn't work out. We got something over here for you. Come on over. That's
yeah, it was quick. It was a quick process. But like when she got the job, it was there. Like I was like, wow, like we're both here. This is great. But like, damn, like she's so amazing. Like she's one of the best people I've met in my life. Like, are people going to not see me because she's here? And then we had a conversation about it, and she was like, bitch, what are you talking about? And then I had to really sit back and be like, damn, like,
but it's, I mean,
problem.
To be honest, like you were being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because at times, like people like to ignore those things. Like it's okay to like understand, hey, like somebody might be doing better than me, or they might be better than me or something. But it's okay that like I feel a certain way about it. Like I would like to be better. I would like to be to the point where like I can get there. But it's like, man, I'm sitting here watching somebody, like literally, it's like, man, like you're so good, you can overshadow me. You know what I mean? And, and it's just a humbling thing because a lot of times, I remember I was in like I remember we talk about this all the time. D make more money than me. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't mean that like like I should hate because he had more money than me. I should be working toward get to the point where it could be a thing because at the end of the day we are going to eat. Like it is a collective effort.
And I was about to say, and just like that, like I don't even like to flaunt that. I feel like you flaunt that around your friends and shit like that. You generally don't even fuck with them, or you know what I'm saying? Like the more so, like as long as you have the opportunity, you can like help out others in the or like motherfucking be able to create opportunities or see things, just like you did, right? You didn't take your opportunity and throw it in her face, just like you said. BT Plus was paused. You created that. Not well. Granted, you were able to give her that opportunity to have to come on over and have a better life. So I think that's like, I ain't gonna lie, like that's a phenomenal thing because we don't see that a lot in our community. It's a crab barrel and stuff like that. So I mean, it's crab barrel, whatever the case is. Doggy dog. I'm sorry, it's doggy dog. I'm. The little liquor guy, man. Nah,
I was gonna chalk it up to like DMV.
I know you try to play it good. It's cool. But nah, so let me ask you this too. So BT, because BT now is kind of a lot of competition too, with like a lot of like I would say black shows out because we got 50 on Stars with Power. We got Snowfall just came back. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of one of my favorite shows right on FX though. And then we got you got plethora of things, right? So does that kind of make your job challenging? Like, damn, how the fuck can I compete? Because like, and then they bringing up like kind of like heavy hitter actors at times too, where it's just like, damn, you can't really compete because they got Zendaya or they got Mary J. Blige or they got Downton Enders made a name for itself, but down there they got him now. So like, how do you kind of compete with that? Like, or is that kind of hard or things of that nature?
I think the name of the game has changed because everybody's realizing that Black content sells.
Right.
Everybody's making Black content. I think that what like now, and it's less of my job because I handle our programming, so I don't handle much of like BET as a brand.
Right.
But like I think for me, the selling point would be like, okay, yes, you can get Black content everywhere, but you're not gonna get it like BET.
Not the central hub.
Black content is not going to be a destination like BET is. And so for us, it's more so positioning ourselves as a destination, as a safe space for Black people, and less of like of course the programming has to be great because it has to be the destination and the safe space. But you know, like I'ma just we have to present ourselves as the safe space for Black people, as the destination for Black culture, and not just in music and not just in TV, but in sports, but in politics, but in just lifestyle, destination, like travel, everything. We have to be the absolute destination. Like, ooh, you keep this in. Black excellence is not enough anymore.
For sure. I've been
for the
longest.
It's Black excellence, but it's also just it's Black existence. It's Black mediocrity. There are so many different kinds of Black people that exist in this world, and I think for BET, for us, it's having to show every single Black person that exists, like the LGBTQAI plus community, Black women in these different ways outside of like really accomplished single women that like don't need a man in their life. Like, there, like I said, there's so many of us, and showing us in all these different lights, showing the spiritual sides of us, showing the not spiritual sides of us, the scientific sides of us. Like, I think all of that is like so important. I think that's also a direction that like it's starting to click. So you'll start to see more content like that, but that's what'll end up really separating us from all of the other networks like putting out Black content.
I think you, like, I ain't even gonna lie, you kind of hit it all good with that one. Listen, I really want to appreciate you for like even coming, topping up with us.
Great, like this was really great. Like,
thanks for having me. This was good. I like this. I can talk to y'all for a minute.
You feel me? Look, we officially best friends now, bro. April 13th, big shot. Like, listen, we best friends at this point. Wow.
I know that's right.
So listen, man. Look, we going great episode. Y'all go ahead.
We just need you to give like your spiel to basically anybody who's trying to just achieve anything right now in life. You know what I mean? Like, you were able to do it. Like, what is your testimony to them?
I'll say what I say earlier. If it feels good, then it is good. And you'll know down in your gut, in your intuition, you'll know if it's good for you.
Man, hey, it's D, and we got our special guest, Justice. Hey, and Rogue Souls, we out. Yes, sir. Like, subscribe, comment, all of the above. There we go.
The only gift I ever got was freedom.